Welcome back on one of the Bears Football Plays YouTube channel. Today is Thursday, September 12th, and I'm back bringing down another Thursday night football matchup. This one should be a great game to watch. We've got the Buffalo Bills traveling to take on the Miami Dolphins. Both these teams, they started off with a win. Both these teams didn't look great in that first half, but the rust is off for both of them now, and somebody's going to come away a winner here. I have one game pick, two total player props, which will be towards the end of the video. Hope everybody has a great Thursday, and let's break down some ball. All right, guys, take a look at this recap from Monday Night Football. Had the Jets +4. Jets stunk. Defense stunk. Rodgers didn't look great. He only threw the ball to the left side of the field, which was kind of weird, but didn't look very mobile. He could still sling the ball, though. Just might have to work on the mobility part of his game, which really hasn't been his strong suit his entire career. But Jets defense, they looked horrible. Sauce Gardner out in the, it was what? First half, last drive for the 49ers. They were trying to stop them. Nobody could stop him, even with Sauce Gardner on the field. So Jets defense, they got some real problems there. The two player props did hit very easily. Breece Hall, over 27.5 receiving yards. We got a discount line with Debo, over 12.5 rushing yards, but I'm sure he still probably hit his rushing yards even whenever CMC was declared out in that game. So not too bad. 2-1 day on Monday night. Here is the updated leaderboard. 7-2 on the player props, 3-4 on the game picks. 10-6 overall on the season. Let's try to get some wins on the board for Thursday night. It is a new week in the NFL. Let's try to start things off hot. We got the Miami Dolphins going up against the Buffalo Bills. Interdivision rivalry here. Both these teams don't really like each other. Both of these teams won in different ways last week. Both of these teams did not look good in the first half, but luckily they were able to figure it out and get some wins. Starting with the road team here, the Buffalo Bills. They were down 10-0 against the Arizona Cardinals at home. They found a way to win, come back and win 34-28. It was really the Cardinals stopped scoring and the Buffalo Bills couldn't stop scoring. I guess you can give some credit to that defense, but they did give up 28 points at the Cardinals, and Marvin Harrison Jr., the new rookie wide receiver, he did nothing in this game. It was a steady dose of Kyler Murray using his legs and then finding some short passes across the middle, and then it was a heavy dose of James Conner just running angry at all times. They were down by 14 points at one time, but Josh Allen, he was too good in this game. 232 yards, 2 scores, and he really had to do a lot of it with his feet because he's starting to realize what life's going to be like without his top 2 targets from last season. The new guy, Keon Coleman, he looks really good, and I'm going to talk about him in a little bit, but he did get his chance in this game. He did not disappoint Josh Allen. He came down with some really good catches, one of them down the sidelines that led to a Bills touchdown. But the defense for the Buffalo Bills, they've got a lot of questions to answer. They gave up 270 yards of offense, 134 yards on the ground, and the Cardinals really didn't have a lot going with Kyler Murray in the second half. I'll give the Bills credit there, but I think you could chalk this one up to a rust for the Buffalo Bills because in the second half, they did look a lot better. So we're going to see what they can do in this game. For Miami, it was basically the exact same thing. They have one of the most explosive offenses in the NFL this season. They trailed by 10 points, 17-7 against the Jaguars in week 1. I'm not entirely sure what was going on with the Dolphins. It felt like they were beating the Jaguars the entire game, especially the second half, but they still found themselves down or tied with 1 second left in the game. All the credit in that game goes to the Dolphins defense for allowing no points in the second half, but the Jaguars, they did Jaguars things. This is one of the worst teams in the NFL at choking down the stretch. The Jaguars also made a horrible decision, 4th and 1, their own 30. They went for it. Miami, they couldn't do anything with it, but that's just an example of the Jaguars making dumb plays. Miami really should have won this game by 14 points, but they just kept making mistakes of their own. And just like the Bills, we can call that rust. But I do think both these teams are going to come out here, play some really good offense. Josh Allen leading the way for the Buffalo Bills. We have Tua. Hopefully he can find his open receivers, 2 of the fastest players in the NFL. I'm going to take the over here, 48.5 points. It seems a little low for 2 really explosive teams. And I know Miami didn't score a lot week number 1, but Buffalo, they put up 31 points. They didn't really play that well either. If you want a side, I would take Miami. They are the home team. They are the better team on paper as well. They've got a better roster than Buffalo. So if you're looking for a side, I would take Miami. Tua, all he's got to do is throw the ball to Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle on slip screens. They'll do the rest. I don't think Buffalo can beat this team. Josh Allen have to put up 100-plus yards and 3 touchdowns for them to do that. So I'm going to take the over here, 48.5. If you want a side, I'd go with Miami. But let's take a look at the player props for tomorrow night. We're going to be looking at Tua Tagovailoa, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I've heard it so many times. I've watched him play so many times. I've heard many people say many different names for him. I'm not really sure if he even knows how to pronounce his name at this point, but we're going to take the over, 265.5 passing yards going up against Buffalo. Something about Tua just always feels wrong, and I think it's because he's a left-handed quarterback. I know a lot of people say that. If you go on Twitter, if you look at the inverted where he's throwing the ball right-handed, he looks like one of the best passers in the NFL. So I think it's just my dumb brain seeing him be a lefty, and it just makes me think he makes a lot of errors and a lot of errant throws. But I do think this is going to be a high-scoring game, and I believe last week, even though they struggled, Tua was the leader in the clubhouse for most yards for any quarterback in the NFL. It does help having Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill as your receivers. And really in this game, all you got to do, I've already said it, all you got to do is hit these guys on slip screens, hit them for some quick slants. They'll do the rest. We saw that last week with Tyreek Hill. Maybe even once in a while, throw the deep ball to one of them, just watch them outrun everybody. I do think Buffalo's going to struggle in this game, even though that secondary looked pretty good against the Cardinals. Kyler Murray really wasn't interested in throwing the ball down the field. We saw Marvin Harrison Jr. open a lot in that game down the field, just waving his hands in the air. Kyler Murray didn't see him. It looks like Achane might also be out in this game, and Raheem Mostert might be out in this game. So it's going to be Jeff Wilson back there. I think they're going to throw the ball a lot in this game with those guys out. So give me the over 265.5 passing yards here. For the other player prop today, we're going to be looking at wide receiver 1, in my opinion, Keon Coleman, over 42.5 receiving yards. He looked really good in week number 1. I'm going to take him here in week number 2. He was pretty quiet in the first quarter and the first half. I believe he only had 1 catch, but Josh Allen, he started to throw him the ball in the second half. He made 2 really good plays on the ball, one over the middle of the field, the other one over the defender on the right sideline towards the end zone. And I was watching the Red Zone channel at the time, but they had the volume on, and everybody was like, all you got to do with this kid is just throw it up. They told Josh Allen that before the game, just throw it up, give him a chance, and he's going to come down with the ball. That's exactly what happened in this game. The Cardinals, he threw up the deep ball. It was a 50-50 jump ball, and he just outmanned his defenders, came down with the ball. I hope he can do the exact same thing in this game going up against Miami Dolphins. Again, I do think it's going to be a high-scoring game. You would think that the Bills would try to run the ball with James Cook because there's a really good running back. But the one downside I'd say about Josh Allen is that he could be a little bit selfish with that ball. He likes to have the ball in his hands. I don't blame him. He's one of the best players in football. I do think we're going to see him throw the ball a lot in this game. So I'm going to take Keon Coleman, the rookie, over 42.5 receiving yards as the play there. Let's take a look at the recap graphic here. We're going to take the Miami Dolphins and Buffalo Bills over 48.5 points. Play that up to 49.5. Not entirely sure what it's out. I think it's 48.5 right now. Tua over 265.5 passing yards against Buffalo, and then Keon Coleman over 42.5 receiving yards against Miami. Guys, that's going to do it for the NFL Plays and Props for Thursday, September 12th slated games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure to drop a like this video and subscribe down below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.